This is how I play the game! Oh my god! What the fuck?
Holy shit! That is an epic fucking intro, dude. And I have to warn everyone. Warning. What you may see right now is going to be absolutely disgusting. I like how you're laughing too.
Well, it's funny.
First of all, we've got Genetic Gamer who cheered and asked an interesting question. He says, Phil, I noticed your fans come and go in waves. You know, some past fans were people like Kid Galleon, Sammy Samosa, the Arid Lord, Viking. These fans had distinct personalities that are different than your current crop of fans. Do you think the type of fans that you attract to change with how your content is maturing? And how would you describe your fans now compared to 5 to 10 years ago? First of all, I want you to understand something. This is a natural progression of organic change and growth. You know, over the years, as I change, as my content changes, the viewer base and fan base is going to change. Not to say that there aren't long-standing hardcore fans who've watched me for a long time. There absolutely are. But if anything, during yesterday's 10th anniversary retrospective, I think you could definitively see that who I was as a person and a content creator 10 years ago versus who I was 8 years ago versus who I was 6 years ago versus who I was, you know, when I had first moved to Washington versus who I was over the years that I've been here has definitely organically changed and evolved, right? And you're absolutely right. You know, what's going to happen is the fan base is also going to change and evolve dependent on that stuff. You know, when I used to be crazy irreverent on YouTube and I used to just say ridiculous stuff, that was kind of unbridled and uncontrolled, and I didn't care who I offended because I called myself an equal opportunity offender. I will, you know, I'll make jokes about any race or creed, including my own.
Today, if you watch my streams, you'll rarely, very rarely, will you ever see me making crude sexual jokes. Very rarely will you hear me referencing like racial humor, unless it's something that's me. Like I'll reference myself or Italians or something. I'm Italian, so if I'm going to reference something or anything, I'll reference myself. But you're very rarely going to see that kind of stuff anymore because people get so sensitive about it, right? But just because I did it 10 years ago doesn't mean that it's bad now. You see what I mean?
I'll make crude sexual comments and I'll do this and that. And, you know, that appealed to a certain fan base. That appealed to a younger audience of teenagers at the time. That's what they were looking for, right? But over the years, I matured and I changed.
Fuck you. You're a liar.
And what I saw was that times were changing, I was changing. You know, it no longer became that I wanted to just sit here and make the same tired, fucking boring, repetitive jokes over and over. My fan base was getting tired of it.
So if anyone actually wants to talk to me while I play this game, it would be nice. People are talking about Little Pump the rapper and all kinds of other shit. I have no fucking idea what anyone's talking about. You know, this is a gameplay stream that I like to interact with my viewers. So if anyone wants to like hang out and talk, I'd appreciate that. Rather than me just playing the game by myself and you guys ignoring me. Or else I don't even know why you're in here. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, you know. It would be nice.
You know what I mean? Like, you can only do that shtick for so long. And in particular, when you look at things like Friend Request Ridicule, here was a series where when it started, it was me basically doing insult comedy against my viewers. Which was kind of messed up because a lot of the people were kids, younger kids. I was insulting them and stuff. And now I look back on that stuff and I cringe and I'm like, man, I was really a dick back then, you know? But the positive that comes out of that is that I changed and reformed that series into something that ended up being very positive in Ask the King, a long-running series that for 7+ years I've been doing, where I do active Q&A with my viewership. That's a lot more positive, right? And that's kind of what's happened over the years. Is I've started out as this real negative ball of swearing and just hating, and I turned into a more honest interactive style person.
Give me your money. Give me money, money. Pledge today. Time is money. It's gross. It's for this. It's not because they love what they're doing. It's not because for the love of the game or because they're true gamers. It's for this. And this is what it's become. It's not about putting out a quality review. It's not about putting out a quality playthrough or quality stream. It's about making this.
So now when you come and you hang out with my streams, you can get my honest reactions to games, which is always what people have come here to see. And yes, if I'm playing a game like Street Fighter V, or I'm playing a game like Dark Souls, or I'm playing a game that in general is buggy or annoying or difficult, you're going to hear that rage that's going to come out of me, right? And a lot of people like that. But at the same time, there's chill streams where I'm playing fun, relaxing games, and we can just kind of talk and interact. It's a very, very different thing today than when I just started off as an isolated YouTuber. You know what I mean? And what happens is, the fan base will change. You're absolutely right. When I started on YouTube, some people still call it the golden age of Darkside Phil.
If only I could be young DSP again.
Yeah, okay, so you liked my first 2-3 years on YouTube, but if you actually go back and watch that content, it was very negative. You know what I mean? It was very negative oriented. It was me insulting a lot of games and game devs and the like. And it was a shtick that lasted for a while, and it got me very popular back in the day too, but it could only last so long, And then those people, when I started to change, moved on. And then you had the next slew of people who moved in and liked my stuff for various reasons. You see what I mean? It happens. People come and go in waves and droves.
And tons of dumb people have fucking left. Why do you think they're my detractors now?
And it's just natural. And I'm okay with that, The cool thing about me is that I am not a one-trick pony. I am not a person who only does one thing and only focuses on one shtick. I'm not. I can do a wide variety of things. At any time, I could do a vlog where I'm talking for an extended period of time about important topics. Or I could switch over and just play a random game that has no bearing on anything and just mess around and be silly. Or I could play a serious game where it's competitive play and I'm trying to do well in it. Or I could play a laid-back game with a narrative story and it's more about me reacting to the narrative than anything else. I could do a wide variety of stuff and enjoy myself. And I think in general, people see that. Right? It's not that Phil, at any moment you could come back and see Phil doing something completely different, entertaining, and fun, rather than, man, Phil was just the guy who plays this one game for 10 years and his shtick is up and that's it.
I may be living month to month, paycheck to paycheck, begging for fucking tips and shit on stream for the rest of my life. That's why I'm still here. That's honestly why I'm still here, is because of the fact that I'm adaptable and I can change. And I know for a fact that I've grown over the years and I've become a much more mature person. I wouldn't do a lot of the things that I used to do because I realize now how immature and stupid they were. I've evolved as a person and as a content creator over the years, right?
Yeah, I'm a gamer! And I do have a loyal fan base as well, that is correct. I have a group of fans who really stick by me no matter what. They've seen me grow and mature over the years because they grew up with me. A lot of these people were teenagers and stuff when I started, and now they're in their 20s and early 30s, and they're like, damn, I've been watching Phil for a long time, and I love how he's grown and matured, and I still love his stuff, and I want to see him be successful, These
cult mentality people, I'm pretty sure we all knew that it was about some kind of a fanatical cult. They're not using conscious thought anymore.
So that's cool, and you're absolutely right, Genetic Gamer. You're gonna have people who move on. People who, for example, I used to be the biggest fan of the Angry Video Game Nerd and the Nostalgia Critic. But when I started doing YouTube, I stopped watching them completely. And it wasn't because I didn't like their content, and it wasn't because that's because I got busy with my own life, changes in my own life. I grew up and matured more. I didn't feel like watching their stuff anymore. I wanted to be a content creator myself. So that's what happens. People move on in their own lives, different situations or whatever. Maybe when you were younger, you had a lot more free time to watch a bunch of stuff on the internet, and now that you're older, you don't, right? I get that. I'm in the same situation, right? So it's just a natural, organic cycle. Today, are my fans different from my fans 10 years ago? Absolutely. Absolutely. Back then, a lot of people would tune into my stuff just for the purpose of seeing what's Phil going to rage at today? What's this dramatic thing that Phil's going to say that's completely irreverent and going to piss people off? Versus today, it's like, I can't wait to join Phil on stream and just chill with him and have fun with the game. Totally different attitude, right? So, there you go.
I'm just tired of it. I can't babysit fucking kids,
Genetic Gamer cheered again and said, can you talk about the business aspects of streaming? I know there are hidden costs that might not be apparent. Well, in reality, there's a lot involved. You've got not only the cost of all the games and the cost of upkeep of equipment, which is kind of a hidden cost because, I don't always tell you guys about when something breaks or when something goes wrong. I might just replace it on the fly if I have to. You know, there's internet, which is incredibly expensive. I have to have business class, highest level internet in order to live stream at the quality that I do. And also to have, you know, the highest, the best connections that I can when I'm playing multiplayer. There's a lot of factors there, you know. A lot of people in my area pay like $50 a month for internet. I pay like over $300.
Really?
It's 2008. When I started on YouTube, that's who I've been, the honest guy.
And that's just being honest with you guys. Like, that's how much it costs for incredibly good internet, okay? You know, and, you know, electricity obviously is a factor. My office constantly has a million different things on at once. I have to run the air conditioner for a good 6 months a year, which is incredibly expensive.
But then what you don't realize is when you are an independent contractor like I am, I'm self-employed. I've been self-employed for over 7 years.
Safe zone evac orders are in effect.
Oh, I can't concentrate. I can't stop laughing. No.
There's so many things that come into effect. Health insurance. Oh my God. Health insurance is incredibly expensive in the United States. And if I ever get sick and I gotta go to the doctor, I'm basically paying out of pocket for almost everything. Unlike if I had an office job where I had insurance that was through that job or whatever, usually it's much better and, you know, you don't have to worry about that kind of shit. Taxes. My taxes.
Taxes. Tax on top of tax. As little as $1 helps, okay?
Are pretty high being self-employed. You know, it's one thing when they're just taking a certain amount of money out of your paycheck every week when you have the office job. For me, it's a big hassle keeping track of all the stuff that I need to do during the year, like all the expenses that I had and stuff, and keeping track of how much I'm going to owe, and then finally putting the money together to pay it. It's a pain in the ass.
Basically, here's a whiny baby. I'm not a whiny baby. I'm a mature adult.
You know, there's a lot of factors involved. There are a lot of factors involved behind the scenes that you guys don't hear or know about. And you don't need to. That's the bottom line, is you don't need to know about every little thing that I got to deal with in order to make this work for a job, okay? But
it's not all fun and games. It's not Phil just jumps to his office, sits down, plays a game all day, and then makes money, and it's ridiculous. You know, what an easy living. It's not. The truth is, to be a full-time content creator, there's a lot of factors that go into it, including business expenses and the cost of doing this. I'm being real honest with everyone. Just making an edited YouTube video is very easy. Doing live improv reactionary commentary is tough. The hard shit is sitting here playing the raw games. That's the hard part. Streaming is way harder than just editing videos for YouTube. Okay? It is. Real talk. And people just want to brush it off as, oh, it's just kiddie games, right? Phil just, you know, these people who are content creators could just sit down and play games all day. It's not like that. It's a job. It really is. It's a job where you got to keep track of a ton of shit going on to maintain and make sure that everything's working, you know? So it ain't as easy. It's not one of the hardest jobs on the planet. At the same time, it ain't easy either, you know? People like to over-exaggerate and just pretend like because video games are involved in a job that it's just the easiest thing on the planet. It's not. Although I will wholeheartedly admit, I am super lucky to be able to do this for a living. I'm very lucky that I started when I did, so that 10 years later, I'm still here, and I'm still a staple of, you know, someone putting out content on a daily basis. But, you know, it's also not as easy as some of these people would make it out to be because they're basically jealous. What? What? They want to make it, oh, that's no work or effort or cost or anything put into that. Complete opposite, you know. Okay. And then basically laugh at me. So they're not laughing with me. These are people who are here just to deride me and laugh at me, okay? I've become a meme on the internet.
Conway, who cheered and said, what is your favorite drink? I fancy myself a Diet Pepsi. I don't have it. I don't have an overall favorite drink. I don't have like, wow, this is the one thing I like to drink all the time. No, I don't. You know, during the daytime when I'm streaming, typically, if I don't have a coffee in the morning, I'll drink a Kickstart energy drink. This morning I had coffee, so I don't have one. Instead, I have a seltzer water here, and I have a regular bottle of, you know, purified drinking water. At dinner, I drink cherry juice. I know that sounds weird. I drink cherry juice not because I like it, but because it helps regulate the acid levels in my body. I have a disease where my acid levels in my body can get out of control, causing
gout. Yeah! I learned the hard way. Okay?
How's the gout, Phil?
Oh my god, here's
Focus
another
on
one.
playing
How's the gout,
Grand Theft
Phil?
Auto.
Another idiot. This is
How's
great.
that gout?
How's that gout? Who was it? Hold on, now I have to freaking manually mute
How's
everyone
that
again.
Seattle air, Phil?
Yes, I want to play a game, yes.
Alright,
Yes.
you will. Don't worry, you will. I just gotta find out who this idiot is now. Say it again. No, say it again. Say, how's that gout? Go ahead.
How's that Seattle air?
Come on, say it again. I mean, you're so dumb, I know you'll say it again. Say it. Say, how's that gout? Come on.
So with the gout, how's your daughter? With the gout.
He's still saying it. How's the gout? How's the gout? How's the gout? Oh, parent, how's the gout? Give me a cracker. Wow. A lot of problems with pain in my joints and swelling and stuff. So, and it's a hereditary thing. I didn't know this, but my aunt had it her whole life and didn't really tell anyone. My aunt had it her whole life and didn't fucking tell anybody. Thanks, aunt.
And then I found out a couple of years ago she had it. I was like, well, that makes sense why I have it then, even though I never knew I had it. So I drink cherry juice at dinner to keep my acid levels down. And, you know, I don't really have a go-to drink. I never really have had one like that, so.
What pasta do you prefer? I prefer a penne. Oh! Easy to eat. Oh! Phil's a faggot. Phil's fat. Phil's a loser. Phil's a beggar. Phil's a racist. Phil's a scammer. DSP's a pedophile. DSP is a thief. DSP is a greedy fuck.
This guy's a bitch.
I have a micro penis. Alright, I'm not dead, but I swear to God I wish I fucking was.